12th class business studies, chapter 9, and topic is fixed capital management. Fixed capital management. I have already told you the meaning of fixed capital. The fixed capital means the the investment in the long-term assets or fixed assets. Whenever a business is started, then a businessman has to make a huge investment in purchasing of fixed assets. Fixed assets means the assets which will be used for long term and which are in value, which are of high value and which will be used for long term, and definitely they will be increasing the revenue generating capacity of the business. So fixed assets are the assets which affects the profitability of the business. So fixed assets are those which remain in the business for more than 1 year. For example, land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, fixtures, vehicles, computer, printer, monitor, all these things are the fixed assets, and businessman will be using all these assets again and again. So fixed capital management is very important. Why? Because I have already told you that this decision is important, as this decision is irreversible decision, affects the growth of the business, earning capacity of the business, as well as risk. And moreover, this decision involves huge amount. So that's why this decision is very much important. So before taking this decision, the businessman again needs to consider some factors. So what are those factors? So factors affecting, I have already told you that in this chapter, every topic has some factors. So you have to understand the concept clearly so that there is no mixing of the factors. Factors affecting fixed capital management or fixed capital requirement. So first factor is nature of business. Nature of business. A business can be of many types. Basically, we can say trading business and manufacturing business. Manufacturing. So trading business means only the buying and selling. And manufacturing business means production. First produce the goods, then buying and selling. So fixed capital means land, building, plant, machinery, stock. Not stock, sorry. Fixed capital means land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, etc. So suppose you are involved in a trading business, then machinery will be required, land, building will be required. Trading business, nowadays you can do online trading business also. So in that case, no fixed assets will be required. No machinery will be required. So if you are having a trading business, in that case, there will be lesser requirement of fixed capital. So in this topic, in every factor, you have to tell that whether the fixed capital required will be more or less. Why less? Because no machinery will be required and there will be no requirement of land and building. You can have it on rent also. But in manufacturing business, many type of fixed assets will be required: plant, land, building, machinery. Machinery, maximum investment of the manufacturing business will be in the establishment of the machinery, installation of the machinery. So all the businesses which have manufacturing will be in requirement of the more of the fixed capital as compared to the trading business. Next is scale of operation. So scale of operation can be, business can be organized, can be done on small scale or on large scale. Okay. Scale. In every factor, I am making a web chart for better understanding small scale and large scale. And on the basis of this web chart, you can explain the topic. Small scale, fixed capital investment will be less because the production requirement will be very less. Volume of the production will be less. Volume of sale will be less in small scale business. So lesser machinery, lesser space will be required. So less means lesser fixed capital investment. In large scale business, more of the machinery will be required. More of the land and building will be required. The production volume will be more, sale volume will be more. So it needs more fixed capital requirement. This topic is very easy. Next, choice of technique. You have already studied about the choice of technique. There can be two type of techniques: labor intensive technique and capital intensive technique. Labor intensive technique is the technique in which maximum use of labor is done. Lesser use of machines is done and maximum use of labor is done. So if maximum work is taken with the labor, so in that case, machinery required will be lesser. So less fixed capital requirement. And in this capital intensive technique, more machines will be used and less labor will be used. So if machines are required more, in that case, more fixed capital investment, more fixed capital requirement. Okay, so labor intensive less and capital intensive more. Next, technology upgradation. In this point, how you can explain it? Technology upgradation means in some of the businesses in which asset becomes obsolete very frequently. Okay, like if you have a computer industry, computer assembling industry, electronic industry, in these industries, there are very frequently innovations, changes in technology, TV, washing machine, refrigerators, mobile phones, automobiles, as well as the computer software and laptops. So in all these industries, technology becomes very sooner obsolete. So in that case, in all such industries, again and again, they have to do advancement of the technology upgradation. So every time, whenever they are doing technology upgradation, they will be in requirement of the more of the fixed capital. So the businesses in which technology becomes obsolete very fast, technology becomes obsolete very fast, then technology becomes obsolete very fast. In that case, more of the fixed capital requirement will be there, more fixed capital requirement. And the examples of such industries are mobile, laptops, or we can say all the electronic gadgets, electronic and computer, all such type of industries are there. And if we are having an industry in which no such technological replacement is required, like bread making industry, making industry, pen making industry, all the other goods in which very sooner technological advancements are not there. So in that case, those industries need not to replace, need not to modernize its machinery again and again. So in such type of industries, very lesser fixed capital will be required. Next is the growth prospects. Growth prospects means whether a company growth. What do you mean by growth? Growth means how a business can grow. Growth means increase in the volume. It can be defined in many ways, like increase in production volume. Growth means production volume. If production volume is increased, it means increase in sales volume, increase in number of labor or employees. So in short, we can say growth means expansion of the business. Not only the expansion, how we can expand our business? By increasing the scale of the business. Earlier, we were working on the small scale, and now we have converted in a large scale industries, or by opening new branches. Earlier, you were doing only local business. Now you are doing on state level business. Local business means only in one district. Now you have opened your new branches in other districts, then interstate business in different states, then at national level, and finally at international level. It means you are growing your business. So when there will be need of growth, yes, very good, Thira. Diversification is also there. So diversification is also the part of growth. In diversification, you are not opening the new branches, or you are not increasing the production or sales volume of the same product. You have entered in the new product line. Earlier, you were making only cosmetics. Now you have also entered in the footwear. Earlier, you were making only cosmetics. Now you have entered in the footwear. So it is known as diversification. launching a new product line. So in this case also, you will be in requirement of huge amount of funds. So if any business, any industry is having growth prospects, more growth prospects, means in future it is planning to grow. So in that case, more requirement of the fixed asset investment will be there. If such growth prospects are not there, company is not planning to expand, to diversify, in that case, there will be lesser fixed capital requirement will be there. Next, diversification already I have explained. So you can make two points in growth and diversification. So same, if the company wants to diversify means starting new industries, launching a new product line, which is different from the existing product line. So in that case, new plant will be established, new machines will be purchased, new land and building will be required, because the plant will be established separately other than the existing plant. So in that case, more investment in the fixed capital will be required. This is very important point. Financing alternatives. What does it mean? Financing alternatives. So whenever there is a need of the fixed assets, so what are the other alternatives we can have? Suppose we need a land and building to establish the business. So we have many options to have that land and building. Either we can buy it, or we can have get it on rent, and especially on lease. On rent means short-term rent agreement, lease means long-term rent agreement for 100 years, for 50 years, in which you will be having all the rights of using that particular land and building. Same is with the machinery. You are in requirement of a machinery, so you can buy that machinery, or you can have it on rent. One more option is there. If you want to buy it, then first option you have to pay all the amount at once. Second, in installments. So these are the different financing alternatives available. So suppose the land is and building or the machinery which you want to uh, bring in your business is easily available in the market on rent, on lease, then definitely there is no need to invest a huge amount, which is in crores or in lakhs, because land and building, plant and machinery are of no small value. They are of huge value. So that can be taken on rent or on lease, or if on installments it is available, then again you will be not in requirement of making the huge payment at once. You can have it on installments. So in that case, if other financing alternatives are easily available in relation to a fixed asset, in that case that fixed asset can be taken by using those alternatives. So by using those alternatives, in that case no need to invest a huge amount in the fixed assets. So availability of leasing facilities may reduce the fund required to be invested in fixed assets, thereby reducing the fixed capital requirement. And if these alternatives are not available, so you are not having any option. You have to invest huge funds in purchasing of the fixed assets. You have to buy fixed assets only, because no financing alternatives are available. So if other financing alternatives are easily available, what are the other financing alternatives? Lease facility, rent, installments, then lesser requirement of the funds will be there. And if financing alternatives are not available,